Of Sports Splash on ABS TV. It's a brand new week and a brand new day. Thank you very much for being here on the show. I am Ike Nwokedi, your host on the show. This morning, UNILAG Vice Chancellor Professor Ogunsola says institution to host at the best and FASU All-African games coming up in the month of September. Anambra State Sports Development Commission, ASSDC, set to screen athletes for September National National Youth Games. And Leicester City signed Crystal Palace forward Andre or Jordan Ayew rather for £5 million, and Novak Djokovic wants clear protocols over doping cases plus a result service that the leagues are back in full. We'll tell you what went down at the weekend in the Spanish La Liga, the Premier League in England, and of course we'll also be looking at what happened in other leagues out there. We'll check out what went down in the Italia Calcio, the Serie A, and also the German Bundesliga on the show Sports Splash, the Monday edition here on ABS TV. Now, let's begin with our first story. Our first story is from Lagos State. I will go to the University of Lagos and LASU. Well, let's tell you that the Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos, UNILAG, Professor Folasade Ogunsola, has said that the institution is committed to making the 11th All-Africa Universities Games, FASU Games 2024, a resounding success. The games are tagged that Lagos 2024 will be co-hosted, yes, by the University of Lagos and Lagos State University, last between September 20th and September 29th. The opening ceremony of the 10-day event will hold on Saturday, September 21st at UNILAG in Akoka, while the closing ceremony will be held on Saturday, September 28th. At LASU in Ojo, at a media pally in Lagos. Professor Ogunsola, while highlighting the institution readiness for FASU Games, assured that UNILAG will deliver and unforgettable experience that reflects the spirit of African unity and excellence during the competition. As one of the host institutions, we are committed to making these games a resounding success. UNILAG has always been a beacon of excellence in academics and sports, and we will view this responsibility as an opportunity to reinforce our leadership role in promoting student-athlete development across Africa. Professor Ogunsola stated, our preparations for the FASU Games has been very meticulous. We have upgraded our sports facilities to international standards, and we have ensured that the necessary logistics are in place to guarantee a seamless and exciting event. I want to assure all participants, officials, and spectators that UNILAG will deliver an unforgettable experience that reflects the spirit of African unity and excellence. Professor Ogunsola, the Vice Chancellor of UNILAG, stated. The Vice Chancellor stated further that the 11th FASU Games will be another opportunity for UNILAG to replicate and improve upon the success stories of the 26th NUGA Games hosted 2 years ago by showcasing institutions' commitment of fostering sports excellence. For us at the University of Lagos, the 11th FASU Games is coming 2 years after we single-handedly hosted the 26th Nigerian Universities Games NUGA with over 5,000 athletes and officials across 75 Nigerian universities on our campus. It was such a remarkable outing, which saw stakeholders unanimously rating the 26th NUGA the best NUGA so far. However, Professor Ogunsola revealed that female and male athletes will compete for laurels in 17 games, namely athletics, track and field, football, basketball, volleyball, handball, badminton, table tennis, tennis. We also have swimming, taekwondo, judo, karate, cricket, hockey, chess, Scrabble, and boxing. That's a demonstration sports. Nigeria is hosting the FASU Games again exactly 20 years after it was hosted by the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, ATBU Bauchi. That was in 2004. And 50 years after the first FASU Games held in Accra, Ghana, hosted by the University of Ghana. So Professor Ogunsola is promising that the University of Lagos will host well, and of course it's going to be an unprecedented time for athletes, student athletes being in Lagos, student athletes from universities based in Nigeria and outside the country being in Lagos for the upcoming FASU All-African Games, and what the story promises to be. Yes, I remember that in the 2022 edition. It was hosted by Kenyatta University. Yours sincerely was out there in Kenya and joined Team Unizik contingent. The Unizik featured featured in football and also in track and field. Let's see as it goes now. We hope that Unizik and also Anambra State, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University will also be part of it as we anticipate the upcoming FASU games coming up later next month, September 20 to 29th. It is where it will, the date it will be happening, and Unilag and FASU co-hosting this time around. We wish them all the very best, and we will continue to follow up on that and bring you up to the very latest as regards the upcoming FASU games. Now, let's leave Lagos. Let's come back home. Let's tell you that the Anambra State Sports Development Commission, the ASSDC, under the leadership of Honorable Patrick Estate Onyedum, has kicked off our preparations for the Under-15 National Youth Games scheduled for Asaba Delta State in the month of September, and will here to happen from the 9th to the 19th of September. And stating this in Oka, the director in charge of technical in the commission, Emeka Obidimma, stated that trial and screening and selection of athletes will hold from August 27 to 28, 2024. According to him, the selection exercises for 21 sporting events the state is expected to participate in. He said that selection exercises for sporting events like football, Scrabble, athletics, chess, and cho will take place at the Oka City Stadium, while boxing and taekwondo will hold at and the Alex Ekwueme Square. Obidimma further named the Iago Primary School as a center for the selection of wrestlers, judo and wrestling, while Nibo Town Hall will play host for badminton. Cosmila Hotel will play host to table tennis. Bishop Crowder will host cricket, while Mabo Arch will be hosting swimming, and all our ladies at school Nobi will host rugby. Will here. Similarly, Community Secondary School Isuofia will host handball, while basketball, kung fu, karate, weightlifting will be at the Godwin Achebe Stadium in Onitsha, and Washington Memorial Grammar School Onitsha will host volleyball and beach volleyball. The technical director called on interested athletes to come with their NIN slip and passport, warning that the festival is strictly for under 15 age bracket. He also called on coaches and parents who have good athletes within their limit to make them available in the selection process. So it's all about the preparation for the National Youth Games are coming up in the month of September, and the Anambra State Sports Development Commission want to zero in on this and ensure that the athletes that will be featuring at the upcoming Youth Games are athletes or below 15 or 15. And of course, I hope the Anambra will have a better representation at the upcoming National Youth Games to be hosted by Asaba, the capital of Delta State. Away from that, let's tell you that Daje of Benin Republic have knocked out Nigeria's representative El Kanemi Warriors from the CAF Confederations Cup, and Daje defeated a Nigerian Federation Cup winners El Kanemi by 2-1, and that was on Saturday to go through 3-2 on aggregate after both teams have played out a 1-1 draw in Ikene, and that was a week ago. So it's a sad development there that El Kanemi Warriors are out of the CAF Confederations Cup. You know, El Kanemi Warriors and the Enyimba International are representing Nigeria in the CAF Confederations Cup, while Rangers International and Remo Stars are representing the country in the CAF Champions League, and El Kanemi Warriors have taken a bow from the competition. We wish them all the very best in their future endeavor. And now to the Nigeria Premier Football League. Let's tell you that to mark the commencement of the new league season, authorities of Kwara United Football Club on Friday presented 17 new players to the club. The new players were drawn from the Nigeria Premier Football League, the NPFL. These players are an addition to the existing 18 team members in preparation for the upcoming season. We hear among the notable additions are Ifeanyi Oba, A former attacking player from Rangers International, Oyeleso Suraj, a seasoned MPFL player from Plateau United, and Kani Akim from Sporting Lagos. That should be Suraj Oyeleso. And let's also tell you that during the unveiling event at the prestigious Sugar Film Factory in Ilorin, Jara manager of the club, Bashir Badawi, revealed that the meticulous process involved in recruiting the players, presenting detailed match data and statistics from various tournaments are held in the aforementioned states, and the club's Jara manager highlighted Kwara United's formidable reputation in the league. We have displayed an exceptional defensive prowess, having triumphed over esteemed clubs such as Al Merrek of Sudan, a renowned continental powerhouse. With ample time remaining in our training regimen, I can confidently affirm that our players will be primed to deliver outstanding performances once the league commences, he stated. That's from Badawi, the Jara manager of Kwara United. So Kwara United has unveiled 17 players. And remember, the Nigeria Premier Football League will be starting this weekend, and on Saturday to be precise. And we hear that the first match will be at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, where Rangers International will open proceedings against El Kanemi Warriors of Maiduguri. We'll be watching out for that. So the Nigeria Premier Football League, the NPFL, is officially back, and it is starting this weekend. Now to Nigeria players abroad segment. Alex Iwobi, 70th minute winner, gave a Fulham victory over Leicester City in their first Premier League home game of the season. The Nigeria winger fired through the legs of a goalkeeper, Matt Hermansen, to restore Fulham's lead after Waterfies has leveled 4, or had leveled 4 Foxes before the break, and the Cottagers, who were dominant throughout the game, opened the scoring when club record signing Emil Smith-Rowe slotted in. Emil Smith-Rowe joined Fulham in a £34 million deal from Arsenal earlier this month after falling out of favour with Gunners boss Mikel Arteta, making just 13 Premier League appearances last season. But he hit the ground running at Craven Cottage, picking up the ball from Adama Traore on the left before driving towards Hermansen and firing into the far corner. Fai's equalizer 20 minutes later was initially ruled out by referee Darren Bond, who judged Jamie Vardy to have been interfering with Ben Leno in an offside position. But the VAR, the video assistant referee, sent Bond to the pitch side monitor, and he overturned the decision after seeing replays of the Fulham goalkeeper pushing Vardy out of his way. The visitors have struggled for possession after Iwobi's goal and lacked a clinical edge as they pushed for a late equalizer, with Wilfred Ndidi coming closest, only to slot his shot straight at Leno in the final moments of the injury time. It is a first win of the season for Marco Silva's side, who came away from their opener at Manchester United empty-handed, losing 1-0 to a late goal in that encounter. And still on Nigeria players abroad, Atalanta star Ademola Lookman has been tipped to replace Napoli striker Victor Osimhen as the African player of the year. We hear this is according to Nigerian coach Matthew Olorunleke, who played for 9 different clubs in Italy. Talking about Reggiana, Tiento, Messina, Nocerina, Catanzaro, Lecco, Rovigo, Bonoleso, and Juve Stabia during his playing days. And Lookman has had a great 2024, helping Nigeria reach the 2023 African Cup of Nations, and also helping Atalanta clinch the UEFA Europa League title. Lookman is in form and on fire. He did well last season in the Serie A. He was also great at the African Nations Cup, and he helped Atalanta win the Europa League. Olorunleke said told the media, and becoming World Player of the Year is not just about what you do on the pitch. It also includes the image you create of it. When we talk about a World Footballer of the Year, we talk about a brand. Football is now more than just playing the game. Olorunleke stated of Lookman. Lookman was named Atalanta Player of the Season for the 2023-2024 season, and was also included in the 2023 African Cup of Nations team of the tournament and the 2023-2024 UEFA Europa League team of diseases. That's the story about Lookman. That man, a whole lot being talked about him, and also I will hope to hear more about him in the coming days about his performance for Atalanta and improving on his career performance on the field of play. You're watching Sports Splash on ABS TV, Monday edition. It is here on ABS. We'll take a short break. When we'll come back on the show, we'll go to the African scene. We'll tell you about Jordan Ayew. We'll also tell you about what's happening in the world of tennis, and there is some football news, and then we'll serve you the results of league matches played across Western Europe, and that was at the weekend. That will be here when we'll come back for the second half of Sports Splash. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show Sports Splash, the Monday edition here on ABS TV. Your host is Ike Nwokedi. On the show in the first half, we told you that UNILAG are preparing to host one of the best FASU All African Universities games, and their Vice Chancellor, Professor Ogunsola, has promised that UNILAG will host one of the best games, just like they did when they hosted the 26th Anuga Games 2 years ago. That was in January 2022, and she also informed that the media, it was during a media party, that there will be 17 sports that will be featuring at the upcoming FASU games to be co-hosted by UNILAG. This UNILAG and LASU hosting that one. We equally told you the Anambra State Sports Development Commission are preparing for the upcoming youth games, and Emeka Obidimma has confirmed to us that there will be screening for selection of our players of our under 15 category for the upcoming youth games coming up in September, and he reeled out at the venues where those screening exercises will be happening. At the Oka City Stadium, there will be one of the venue. We also have a Marble Arch Hotel as one of the venue. Ladies School will be one of the venues. At Metropolitan College, Washington Memorial College on it will be one of the schools out there. Godwin Achebe Stadium is also one of the venues out there. We equally told you that Iyenu Primary School also, or Iago Primary School, also be one of the venues for that one, and a whole lot. So the Anambra State Sports Development Commission already preparing well for the upcoming National Youth Games coming up next month. I will hear it will hold from 9th to the 19th of September. We'll be watching out for that one. We equally told you about El Kanemi Warriors being knocked out of the CAF Confederations Cup. We equally told you about Kwara United unveiling 17 players in anticipation of the new season competitions. The 23-year-old who had been signed by the then Claret manager Vincent Kompany from Belgian club Charleroi barely figured in the Premier League last season, playing just 6 times and sent off in the first Premier League appearance against Manchester City. Zaroury was sent out on loan to Hull City during the January transfer window, and Zaroury appeared as a substitute in Burnley's first championship game of the season. It was a 4-1 win at Luton Town, but was unwell for the Clarets' 5-0 victory over Cardiff City at the weekend. He was called into the Morocco squad just before the 2022 World Cup and played in the third place playoff defeat by Croatia. Moving away from that now, let's talk about other sports, and now to Formula One. McLaren's Lando Norris fought back to take a dominant victory in the Dutch Grand Prix, despite losing the lead to Max Verstappen's Red Bull at the start. And Norris, for whom starts and first laps have been a weakness in the recent races, was passed almost immediately when he had too much wheel spin off at the line. But such was the pace in his McLaren that he repassed Verstappen on lap 18 before the pit stops and romped away into the distance. And Charles Leclerc took the final position, the final podium position, belying in his pre-race pessimism, fending off the McLaren of Oscar Piastri for the final 27 laps. And Verstappen appeared to sense that the way the race was going, even while he was still leading. And the Dutchman, who has monopolized this event since he returned to the calendar in 2021, was complaining about the lack of a grip from very early in the race, and his defense of the lead when Norris caught him was half-hearted, especially in the context of his normally ultra robust defensive tactics. The McLaren swept into the lead down the inside line at the first corner out there in Tarzan, and once in front, Norris pulled away at around half a second a lap, and there was nothing Verstappen could do to prevent losing his home race for the first time since he returned after 36 years. And Norris, 36 years absence, Norris was in total control once in front, and he crossed the line in 22.8 seconds ahead of Max Verstappen for one of the most dominant wins of the season. And he rubbed that in his crushing form by setting the fastest lap on the final tour, taking it away from Mercedes Lewis Hamilton by just 0.067 seconds. It was a slim margin for the record being held by Lewis Hamilton. But Lando Norris, I love the fact that Formula One is changing gears right now. It used to be every 2 weeks we hear about Max Verstappen, but this time around McLaren's Lando Norris has lived up to expectation. This time around, getting the checkered flag, beating Max Verstappen in a time of 22.6 seconds. The likes of Charles Leclerc, Oscar Piastri has to equally improve their driving, maneuvering and driving techniques to see if they can outwit Max Verstappen. But in the Constructors Championship right now, you can get assured that Max Verstappen's teams is leading. Mercedes, they are leading right now, and Lando Norris will get to hear more about that in coming races of the Formula One this season. Good to see him finish, and of course taking the checkered flag at the end of this race out there at the Formula One race. That's at the Dutch Grand Prix in front of the fans of Max Verstappen, beating him. It took 36 years to do that, and Lando Norris has shattered that record. And now let's talk about other sports. This time athletics. Let's tell you the Olympic 800 meters champion Keely Hodgkinson will miss the rest of the 2024 athletics season because of injury. The 22-year-old has been set to compete in the Diamond League finals in Brussels in the month of September, and Britain's Hodgkinson won all 9 of her 800 meters races in 2024, capped by winning gold at the Paris Games earlier this month. And Hodgkinson defended her European 800 meters title in 2024 and break her own national record by running 1 minute 54.61 seconds at the London Diamond League in July. She has set her sights on breaking the 800 meters women's world record of 1 minute 53.28 seconds, which has stood for more than 4 decades. And Hodgkinson will also target a first world championship title in Tokyo in September 2025, having won silver in each of the past 2 years. Away from athletics, in tennis, Novak Djokovic has called for clear protocols and standardized approaches to tennis doping cases, with Jannik Sinner having escaped a ban after testing positive for a banned substance, and the world #1 twice tested positive for clostebol, and a steroid that can be used to build muscle mass in the month of March we hear. And the Italian was cleared of fault or negligence by a tribunal last week with the International Tennis Integrity Agency ITIA finding Sinner had been inadvertently contaminated with the substance by physiotherapist Giacomo Naudi, and Naudi had been applying an over-the-counter spray given to him by fitness trainer Umberto Ferrara to a cut on his own hand before then carrying out a treatment on Sinner. And the 23-year-old, who is no longer working with the pair, was given an automatic provisional suspension when he tested positive but was unable to keep playing after successfully appealing against it. And some players have suggested Sinner received a special treatment. And speaking before the U.S. Open World number 2, Djokovic said, "I understand the frustration of the players is there because of a lack of consistency in the rules that he has stated." And now let's also tell you that the man being talked about, Jannik Sinner, says he's no longer working with a physiotherapist at Giacomo, now the fitness trainer Beto Ferrara, following the investigation into his positive test for a banned substance at the world number 1, twice tested positive for clostebol, a steroid that can help, that can be used to build muscle mass in the month of a match. And the Italian was cleared of a fault or negligence by a tribunal last week with the International Tennis Integrity Agency, ITIA, finding Sinner had been inadvertently contaminated with the substance by Naudi, and Naudi had been applying over-the-counter spray given to him by Ferrara to a cut on his own hand before then carrying out treatment on Sinner. Sinner received a warm reception external from the crowd during his first practice session at the Flushing Meadows, and that was on Thursday. And speaking for the first time since the news emerged last Monday, Sinner said it was a relief the investigation was over, and he can now come back to the tracks and to the courts and do what he used to know how to do best, be it on grass, be it on hard court, or be it on clay. That's the story of the world number 1, Jannik Sinner. Time for us to check out the results of our league matches. We'll just limit it to just 3 leagues. We'll check out what went down in England, Italy, and Spain. Well, let's tell you, let's start with Italy. In Italy, Udinese defeated Lazio by 2-1. It was Parma to AC Milan 1. Monza lost 0-1 at home to Genoa. Elsewhere, Inter Milan saw off Lecce by 2-0. Torino defeated Atalanta by 2-1. Torino back again. And Fiorentina played out a goalless draw against the new team Venezia. Elsewhere, Napoli romped Bologna by 3-0, and AS Roma lost 1-2 to Empoli. And tonight, watch out, Cagliari will be taking on Como, and Hellas Verona is at home to Juventus tonight. In Spain, the La Liga matches were played as Celta Vigo defeated Valencia by 3-1 at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. Sevilla lost 1-2 to Villarreal. Osasuna 1, Real Mallorca 0. Yes, Real Mallorca losing away from home to Osasuna. Osasuna getting the better of Real Mallorca, just 1-0 ended. Barcelona 2, Athletic Bilbao 1. Getafe at the Coliseum Alfonso Perez played out a goalless draw against Rayo Vallecano. It was Espanyol 0, Real Sociedad 1. Real Madrid obliterated Real Valladolid by 3-0. Leganés defeated Las Palmas by 2-1. Deportivo Alaves 0, Real Betis 0, and Atletico Madrid, the Wanda Metropolitano, defeated Girona by 3-0. In England, the Premier League, Brighton and Hove Albion defeated Manchester United by 2-1. It was Tottenham 1, 2, 3, 4. Everton 0. The woes of Everton continued. The first match they won, they lost by 3-0, though there was a red card in that game, and they were playing with a numerical disadvantage. And Southampton lost at home at 2. At the St. Mary's to Nottingham Forest 1-0. Manchester City defeated the new boys Ipswich Town by 4-1 at the Craven Cottage. We told you that Alex Iwobi was on the score sheet, and Emil Smith-Rowe, their record signing from Arsenal, was also on the score sheet, helped them to beat Leicester City by 2-1. Crystal Palace 0, West Ham United at 2. Elsewhere was Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Chelsea 6. Chelsea back to winning ways. Bournemouth 1, Newcastle United 1, and Liverpool defeated Brentford by 2-0. That's the way he ended in the Premier League for match day 2. We'll be watching out for match day 3 coming up this Saturday and Sunday. That's the size of the show this morning, Sports Splash, the Monday edition. Thank you very much for being here. The show continues tomorrow, same time. Make sure you tune in and be here to enjoy the best of sports news across the globe. My name is Ike Nwokede. Have a lovely week, and remember to keep sporting. Bye-bye now.
danger. Big auntie, go enter this bus.
Ha! Oga conductor, this kind cough na serious matter. You suppose go hospital.
Hospital care.
Haba, doctors don talk am say different types of cough dey. Some na dry cough, but this your own na wet cough e be.
Big auntie, na God go bless you. I don tire for this my conductor and him cough wey no gree go. E fit even be tuberculosis.
Conductor, go check am o, make you dey sure, because who no go?
No go no.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
Check am o, make you dey sure.
If cough don't worry you past 2 weeks, if it be tuberculosis, TB test and